Have you ever wondered why two people can start their adult lives at almost the same point, earn similar incomes, live in the same town, and even have similar educational backgrounds, yet after 10 or 20 years one becomes financially comfortable while the other continues to struggle? This question is common in Kenya, where many hardworking people wonder why wealth seems to come faster to some individuals than others. The simple answer is that wealth is not determined by hard work alone. Hard work is important, but it is only one part of the equation. The people who build wealth faster often make different financial decisions, develop different habits, and view money in a different way. They focus on growing assets, creating opportunities, and making their money work for them instead of relying only on their daily effort. One of the biggest differences between wealthy Kenyans and those who struggle financially is their understanding of the difference between income and wealth. Income is the money a person earns from employment, business, farming, or other activities. Wealth, on the other hand, is the value of everything a person owns after subtracting debts. A person earning 100,000 Kenya shillings per month may appear richer than someone earning 50,000 Kenya shillings per month. However, if the first person spends nearly all their income, while the second person consistently invests and acquires assets, the second person may eventually become much wealthier. Many people focus heavily on increasing their income, while paying little attention to building wealth. Wealthy individuals understand that earning money is only the first step. The next step is keeping a portion of that money and investing it wisely. Over time, investments can generate additional income, which can then be reinvested to create even more wealth. Another reason some Kenyans become rich faster is that they start investing earlier. Time is one of the most powerful tools in wealth creation. A young person who begins investing 5,000 Kenya shillings every month at the age of 25 can accumulate significantly more wealth than someone who starts investing 10,000 Kenya shillings every month at the age of 40. This happens because investments have more time to grow and compound. Compounding is often called the eighth wonder of the world because it allows investment earnings to generate additional earnings. For example, if money invested in a money market fund, treasury bond, business, or stock generates returns, those returns can also begin earning returns. Over many years, this process can create substantial wealth, even when the original investments were relatively small. Successful wealth builders also understand the importance of owning assets. Assets are things that either increase in value over time or generate income. Examples include rental properties, productive farmland, businesses, dividend-paying shares, treasury bonds, and certain types of commercial property. Instead of spending every extra shilling on consumption, wealthy individuals often use surplus income to acquire assets. Many people make the mistake of buying liabilities while believing they are buying assets. A liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. Expensive vehicles, luxury items, and unnecessary loans can become financial burdens if they do not generate income. Wealthy individuals typically prioritize acquiring income-producing assets before increasing their lifestyle expenses. Education also plays an important role in wealth creation, but not always in the way people think. Formal education is valuable because it provides knowledge and qualifications. However, some of the fastest-growing wealthy individuals focus heavily on developing practical skills that the market rewards. Skills such as software development, digital marketing, sales, project management, artificial intelligence, content creation, accounting, engineering, and business management often command high incomes and create entrepreneurial opportunities. The modern economy rewards people who can solve problems. The bigger the problem you can solve, the more valuable your skills become. This is why some individuals who did not attend the most prestigious universities still manage to build significant wealth. They acquire skills that businesses and customers are willing to pay for. Continuous learning is another characteristic of people who become wealthy faster. Many successful entrepreneurs and investors spend years reading books, attending seminars, taking online courses, and learning from mentors. They understand that the world changes quickly and that new opportunities often emerge from new knowledge. Technology has created opportunities that did not exist a few years ago. Today, a Kenyan can operate an online business, create digital products, offer freelance services, run an e-commerce store, or build a social media brand that generates income from customers around the world. Individuals who adapt quickly to these opportunities often create wealth faster than those who resist change. Networking is another major factor that influences financial success. Opportunities frequently come through relationships. A strong network can provide business partnerships, job opportunities, investment ideas, mentorship, and access to valuable information. Many successful business deals happen because someone knew the right person at the right time. This does not mean that success depends only on connections. Instead, it means that relationships can create opportunities that might otherwise be difficult to find. People who invest time in building professional and business relationships often gain access to knowledge and opportunities that accelerate their financial growth. Entrepreneurship is one of the most common paths to wealth creation in Kenya. Employment can provide a stable income, but businesses have the potential to scale beyond the owner's personal effort. A successful business can serve thousands of customers, employ multiple workers, and continue generating revenue even when the owner is not actively involved in every operation. Many of Kenya's successful business owners started with modest resources. What set them apart was their willingness to identify problems and provide solutions. Whether in agriculture, retail, transportation, manufacturing, technology, or professional services, entrepreneurs who solve real problems often create substantial value and wealth. However, entrepreneurship is not a guaranteed path to riches. Businesses carry risks and many fail. The difference is that successful entrepreneurs learn from setbacks, adapt their strategies, and continue improving their businesses over time. They view failures as lessons rather than permanent defeats. Financial literacy is another critical factor that separates wealthy individuals from those who struggle financially. Financial literacy refers to understanding how money works. This includes budgeting, saving, investing, managing debt, understanding taxes, and evaluating financial opportunities. Without financial literacy, even high incomes can disappear quickly. A person earning 200,000 Kenya shillings per month can still face financial difficulties if they spend recklessly, accumulate expensive debt, and fail to invest. Conversely, someone earning a more modest income can gradually build wealth through disciplined saving and investing. Debt management is particularly important. Not all debt is bad. Some forms of debt can help individuals acquire assets or expand businesses. However, excessive consumer debt often slows wealth creation because large portions of income are diverted toward loan repayments and interest charges. People who become wealthy faster often use debt strategically. They borrow to acquire productive assets or expand profitable ventures rather than finance unnecessary consumption. They understand that every loan should have a clear purpose and a realistic repayment plan. Another common characteristic of wealthy individuals is their willingness to take calculated risks. Every investment carries some degree of uncertainty. Whether investing in a business, real estate, agriculture, or stocks, there is always the possibility of loss. The difference is that successful investors do not take blind risks. They conduct research, evaluate potential outcomes, and consider both rewards and dangers before making decisions. They understand that risk management is just as important as return generation. One of the most powerful wealth-building habits is creating multiple income streams. Relying on a single source of income can be risky because unexpected events can disrupt earnings. Wealthy individuals often diversify their income sources through businesses, investments, rental income, dividends, consulting, farming, or online ventures. Multiple income streams provide financial stability and create additional opportunities for growth. When one source performs poorly, other sources can help maintain financial security. Discipline is another factor that often goes unnoticed. Building wealth usually requires delaying gratification. This means resisting the temptation to spend money immediately and instead investing it for future benefits. While others may focus on showing signs of success through expensive purchases, wealth builders often focus on acquiring assets that generate long-term value. Lifestyle inflation is a common obstacle to wealth creation. This occurs when spending increases every time income rises. A promotion leads to a more expensive car. A salary increase leads to a larger house. A successful business month leads to unnecessary luxury purchases. As a result, expenses rise as quickly as income, leaving little room for wealth accumulation. Many wealthy people avoid this trap. Even when their incomes increase significantly, they maintain reasonable lifestyles and direct much of their additional income toward investments. This discipline allows their wealth to grow much faster. Long-term thinking is perhaps one of the most important characteristics of successful wealth builders. Many people search for quick riches, but sustainable wealth is usually built over many years. Wealthy individuals understand that meaningful financial success often requires patience, consistency, and persistence. They focus on long-term goals rather than short-term rewards. They invest regularly, improve their skills continuously, build businesses gradually, and allow their assets time to grow. This approach may not produce instant results, but it often leads to substantial wealth over time. It is also important to acknowledge that not everyone starts from the same position. Family background, education, location, access to capital, and economic opportunities can influence financial outcomes. Some people begin their financial journey with advantages that others do not have. However, while starting conditions matter, they do not completely determine financial success. Across Kenya, many individuals have built impressive wealth despite modest beginnings. They achieved this by combining discipline, education, entrepreneurship, investing, networking, and long-term planning. The truth is that wealth creation is rarely the result of a single decision. Instead, it is usually the result of hundreds of small decisions made consistently over many years. Choosing to save instead of spend, choosing to invest instead of consume, choosing to learn instead of remain comfortable, choosing to build assets instead of liabilities. These decisions may seem small in the moment, but their effects compound over time. Just as small investments can grow into significant wealth, small financial habits can produce remarkable results when practiced consistently. Ultimately, some Kenyans build wealth faster than others because they think differently about money. They focus on ownership rather than consumption. They prioritize assets over appearances. They invest in knowledge, relationships, businesses, and opportunities. Most importantly, they understand that wealth is not created overnight, but through consistent action over many years. The good news is that these principles are not reserved for a select few. They can be learned and applied by anyone willing to develop better financial habits, improve their skills, make wise investments, and commit to a long-term vision. While there are no guaranteed shortcuts to riches, adopting these proven wealth-building practices can significantly increase the chances of achieving lasting financial success in Kenya. /span/p/body